I'm so glad that I don't have to commute back and forth to work anymore. If I took a job anytime soon or anytime in the future or anything, I sure in heck would never drive anywhere again. Feel like I spent like a lifetime commuting. A lot of the jobs I had, I lived in the valley for some years, and it's like when I was living in Gardena, it was either Gardena or the valley, and I always seemed to be commuting someplace else. It's like sometimes I got lucky, especially early in my, in the earlier days when I was working, I didn't have to. I usually got something closer to home. But most of the time in my like accounting, especially late in the later years of my accounting career, I always seemed to be like taking on the freeway or something. Even the first job was I had to commute to Gage Avenue, Gage and Avalon, which isn't that bad that far, but it's like it was still a commute. And lots of times I didn't take the freeway; I just took surface streets. I went up Vermont. The it's like it's like one time I worked in Cerritos and I drove out to Cerritos, which wasn't too bad because I was going against traffic. One time I was driving from that was Apex Computers. And then one time I was driving from like the valley up to Ventura, which wasn't too bad either, but it was still a long drive. It's like a long drive up to Ventura. It's like, and I was working for our registration control systems. And like I said, at least with that one, the traffic wasn't bad, but it was still like, I can't remember how long it took me, at least 40 minutes to get there one way. And then there was like the worst commute ever. It's like, which stands out. It's like I was living in Gardena, and I was working at Cerritos at Apex, and then got married and moved to Woodland Hills, and then I started driving from Woodland Hills to Cerritos every day, and the commute was just, it was horrific. It was really a long, terrible drive, traffic. One of the days that I specifically remember was the day before Thanksgiving when I drove out there, and it was like it took more than 2 hours to get there one way, and can't remember how long it took me to get back, but that was a long trip back too. I was exhausted. Um, but if you can, don't commute. Do it, and fortunately, a lot of things are done online, and you can work from home. You can work virtually, which is a good thing. It's like instead of driving into an office all the time and doing a lot of driving, because I feel like I just spent a lot of my so much time just driving back and forth to work to different places. Like I had a few jobs in the Koreatown area, so I would drive to the Koreatown from the valley, or from the valley to Santa Monica. One time I worked in Santa Monica, but it's like if you can avoid commuting, do it. And I will never take a job ever again where I have to do some long commute. I'll either work virtually or I'll work closer to home, even if it's for less pay.